Yo, what's good, man? I'm back. Cyber T, aka T Shaman, back with another episode. And I want to talk about people who are always finding stuff to complain about based on what's going on in the news. And that can be as far as politics, sports. And I'm starting to see a pattern, and it's always got something to do with like a popularity contest. I didn't really see too many people talking about the Mello situation. And now I see they got another video out, and it's overshadowing this 1 year old that got shot. And a lot of people, they kind of gullible. They don't really think. You know, um, I remember back when I was in ninth grade, I told other people I don't watch the news because I'm not trying to get programmed or brainwashed by what's going on in society if I have no control over it. First and foremost, I come from a poverty type community. I come from the Delta of Mississippi. I can't speak on any and everything that's going on, especially if I'm the one that's being a victim of the situation. I grew up around a lot of gang violence. I saw people get killed. I saw people get all type of stuff abused, all that. And far from the adults on down to the kids. The abuse just didn't stop. And some of y'all might be watching this video and you know exactly what you did, especially when I was little. But I can't afford to always politic on stuff that I can't control. People get killed every day. It's a lot of stuff going on. If that's all you talk about is politics and what Donald Trump doing, da 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 da. Donald Trump is a millionaire. We all working a 9 to 5. The only way we can stop that from happening is if you go out and vote. And if you don't want to vote, don't vote. But if you don't vote and you're speaking on who won the presidency or who won the mayor, whatever's going on in your city, if you're not out there voting, you really can't speak on much. I just feel like some people turn into chatty patties. We lose focus and we find ourselves in debates and arguments that we don't have to be in. I was watching the Knicks, the parade over the last week or whatever you want to say. All I saw was violence, but somebody else, all they saw was just straight celebrating. We see from two different angles. I'm not seeing what the other person is saying, so I can't really speak on much because what I speak on could be just 1% of what somebody else know. And there comes a whole debate about what's going on in society, and now we just arguing over dumb stuff. So if you guys can just stay focused on what we should be doing or what we should be talking about, life would be a lot more simpler. And I feel like sometimes we get a little carried away with having a voice on social media. And I know now you can just buy your little check mark on Facebook, so now everybody got an opinion. I remember I was agreeing with somebody. This is a classmate of mine on Facebook. And I think I checked my notifications like within like an hour or two, like an hour later, 2 hours later. And man, they must have wrote a whole paragraph taking their anger out on me. My reply was, I was simply agreeing with you. But you were so upset, you took my comment the wrong way and took it upon yourself to write a whole essay, which I did not fully read. I just summarized it and I came to the conclusion, oh, this person think that I'm against them. And social media kind of got a lot of people going crazy. You got a lot of people that's in the army and they feel like they know way more about politics because they serve in the country. But they only know what they know, Just because you know something don't mean it's right. I'm gonna keep it at that. I ain't gonna go too in on the veterans and the army people, but I'm just simply saying because the person I got into it was in the army. We have to stop forcing our opinion. I'm talking way too fast. We have to stop forcing our opinion on other people. Back in the day, we used to ask people, well, what is your mathematics? That means what's your knowledge? Like what do you know up here? Nowadays we try to embarrass people, get clicks, and see who know the most based on what we know. It's not all about that. Sometimes you gotta really just have a educational debate and keep it moving. There's too many people out here that's brainwashed, and they want you to be brainwashed too. And that's why watching the news it's not always a good thing. Sometimes you gotta really sit back and see what's going on in your community, see what's going on with your life. I know people out here that's staying with people or not even on their feet, but they know everything about Donald Trump. They know everything about McCain, which been dead for a couple of years. They know everything about these people, but don't know nothing about themselves. So that's something I never understood that. And I know I'm doing the Jalen Brunson thing. He did that, but I've been doing that. Jalen Brunson got it from me. But man, I got off subject, but yeah, I gotta stop watching the news so much. Please. I haven't watched the news in like years. Yes, I would see some stuff pop up on my Facebook feed, but I'm not sitting here watching CNN and Fox all day, every day. I'm not doing that. Get outside, get some air, man. Peace.